to all the diaspora living in the United States, the Ethiopians, the Kenyans, the Nigerians, South Africans, all Africans who happen to have a chance to see this clip in any way. I have a plea and a very urgent call. It is about China. Yeah, it's about China. We all know how China is raping our continent like never before. Africa is, has been a playing ground for the colonies, the Arabs, invaders, and all enemy. But this one is different. Our leaders are the main players in this sabotage. Did you know that when the European colonies came to Africa in 1884, 1885, you know that the great partition of Africa, when the Europeans were sitting in Germany, spreading this 5 feet map, dividing Africa into their sphere of influence. Yeah, then all our chiefs were the participatory in that business. They sold African land to the European colonists. In 1884, the Cameroon was sold to Germany for 1,000 pounds. And the name of the person who sold Cameroon was a local chief called King Bell. Around the same time, the chief in Zimbabwe sold his land to Cecil Rhodes. It's a British name. I can't pronounce it very well. He was a prime minister of the Cape Colony, the present-day South Africa, for just 100 pounds and a few muskets, a few guns. Like the old-day chiefs selling our land to the European colonists, our current-day chiefs, the presidents, the prime ministers, tyrants of Africa, they are selling our continent to this brutal, cold-blooded communist government, the Chinese government. They are selling us to them. As we know, the colonies were focused on our slave laborers, our natural resources, and things like that. However, China is a different animal altogether. Not only draining out and looting our natural resources from the mouths of our future generations, they are destroying homegrown businesses as well. Interesting. In colluding with our mindless leaders, they have taken over local retail markets and they denied our people their livelihood. In Ethiopia alone, the immoral Chinese are selling Ethiopian traditional clothes. Can you imagine that? Traditional clothes to that low, they go that low to steal from our people. Traditional clothes they are selling. The jabanas, that's the clay pot which we use to make this wonderful, very, very, very tasty Ethiopian coffee. The jabanas, the clay pot, are now being sold by the Chinese. Can you imagine that? They are selling these local materials for dirt cheap, which they bring from China. The Europeans never did this before. Our mothers and fathers are now out of business. They have nothing to feed their children now. The Chinese did not stop there. With their debt trap diplomacy and the great replacement scheme, the great replacement they call it, they are further destroying our communities. With their debt trap diplomacy, they are loaning billions of dollars to these dishonest leaders, and they are burying our continent into debt and taking our land. With their great replacement scheme, the second scheme, they are flooding their populated masses into Africa. And today there are over 120 million Chinese in Africa, roaming in Africa. They're prostitutes, laborers, human traffickers, engineers even. You name it, all of them. You think they stop there. No. They are killing our people with cancers, all kinds of disease, which our people never knew before. In 2007, this is what happened. Authorities in Europe, in USA, Australia, New Zealand, alerted the world that the Chinese are using 900 times more than the limit. They're using that chemical. The name of the chemical is called, the name of the chemical called formaldehyde. Formaldehyde. Doctors might know about these things, or people working in the textile industry, they might know what formaldehyde is, the chemical, and what kind of problem it causes on people. They might tell us. This has caused all kinds of health hazards. Today, kidney failures, obesity, various cancers are all the making of Chinese, because our leaders are not willing to enforce quality control. There is no quality control. The Chinese bring anything and dump on Africans and let them die. Who cares about Africans? Shall I mention the surveillance equipment they provide African dictators? The jamming technologies? The machetes they gave to the Rwandans so that the Tutsi would kill the Hutus? In the Darfur genocide, they were helping Bashir because they are getting the oil from the al-Bashir from Sudan? Or the Confucius Institute they have in every university in Africa. Probably they have it in Addis Ababa University. Confucius Institute, the propaganda arm of the Communist Party, destroying Africa with this institution. Now, we in the diaspora need to rise up for our people. How, you may say, you may ask. We need to come together and fight this mortal enemy by voting in the US election 2020 coming up in 3 weeks. How is that related, you may ask? Here is how. The Democrats, the guy who is running for the Democrat Party, Joe Biden, is a friend of China. If he wins, Africa loses. Because we have no one in the White House to fight China with. China gets even stronger with no superpower challenging it. But by voting for Trump, even if we don't like him, forget about his personality, but by voting for Trump, for sure Africa wins. How, you may question again. You see, he has already put China on chokehold. He's giving them a hard time. He done it already by imposing tariffs on their products coming to the United States. He fought them at the World Trade Organization, which made China the greatest nation on earth. Now, it's because of the World Trade Organization. They joined in 2001. He singled them out for the Chinese virus, the coronavirus. Came from the Chinese intentionally for the world. He confronted them in South China Sea, targeted them for stealing the intellectual property of the United States. China steals from the United States too. In fact, from the entire world, they steal. They don't care. It's a communist government. There never has been such a determined, cold-blooded government on the face of the earth. You see, when Trump wins, second term, we Africans for sure will have friends in the White House. As one hand washes the other, and we will ask him a favor, the president, to help us rescue our people of the mainland Africa. And for sure he will do it, because he knows how China is a brutal enemy of Africa, the United States, the Western world. China is not our friend. So let's not forget to vote for Donald Trump. Thank you.